without further ado, let's get to it. It's Tony Storm and Bailey here in our very first match, guys. So let's get to it. We still have the Worthmore Arena, which is the arena that we used for October, for the month of October, for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I've been keeping this arena because I like the arena. I like the arena, and I thought about like doing a couple changes to the arenas and having like these special arenas here and there to just switch it up a little bit. Because why not? Because why not? I also got some really cool My Career stuff for you guys coming on the YouTube side of things. That's going to be a pretty awesome storyline coming up for you guys. You know, you guys love the Outlaws and their stint with the McMahons and everything else going on. So I'm really happy to have that going for you guys. And let's just hope we don't experience any issues today. I'm hoping. You know, because that's, like I said at the beginning of the stream, having issues with Twitch, like disconnecting, but hopefully my internet and hopefully Twitch can be nice to me today. But these CAW creations are courtesy of Omega Man X44. He did a really good job with these CAWs. He's the #1 guy I go for when it comes to CAWs and universes and stuff. He's doing some updates to Jon Moxley and a couple updates to the Young Bucks, so that should be very exciting. Definitely follow him on Twitter. Again, that's Omega Man X44. If you're on the Xbox side of things, I believe Iconic 2K as well. He does both Xbox One and PlayStation 4, so you get the best of both worlds there. Bailey now with the Irish whip into the ropes. Bailey with a drop down. Now an elbow. I don't know how much she got of that elbow, though. Now Bailey, though, speaking of like real life wrestling, because it's been a while since I've been on stream, and obviously I'd like to talk about, you know, the stuff that's going on with, you know, real life wrestling and the Thunderdome and stuff. And with Impact and everything else. And a lot of you guys know that I aspire to be in the wrestling industry as well. And, you know, it's crazy, guys, because like I said, you know, with 3 weeks being left until I'm done, like, permanently with college for forever, you know, switching majors and doing this and that and trying to get stuff done, you know, it is really encouraging when you have, you know, professors that are willing to understand and willing to help you, you know, through this rough time, because it's really rough on them because it's all Zoom. So I'm literally sitting there for 2 hours, you know, for one class to be on Zoom, and it's not really the most fun thing, and I'll just be glad to be done. And all my professors, you know, they hate it as much as I do, you know. But it is what it is, and I'm happy that I have you guys as well. You know, you guys sticking with me even though I've been gone for a while. But trust me, we're gonna be back in full force. You know, obviously, you know, when it comes to, you know, getting a job and getting everything squared away with that, obviously that'll come into play too as well. But even then, we'll still be going here as Tony Storm, taking it away here on Bayley. Now an Irish whip to Bayley into the ropes now. Bayley able to check whatever Toni Storm was going for. Now going after the knees. With a dragon screw leg whip there. Now Bayley forcing the head into the canvas of Toni Storm there. Now Toni Storm definitely has become one of my favorites. Especially now with her coming back to NXT. Ember Moon coming back too as well. I was very happy to see that. Because her injury looked like it wasn't going to be good, but... It's Toni Storm now with a drop kick onto the outside. Now for our main event, we have Lance Archer, the Murderhawk Monster, going up against Mr. Brody Lee. So that should be a very fun one. We also have a Battle Royale, a tag team Battle Royale here. And basically what'll happen there is whoever wins that will challenge the Young Bucks. Or, not the Young Bucks, but Ali and Cedric Alexander for their titles at RCW Ascend. So that should be a good one there. And I was thinking about how I wanted them to challenge for the titles. Because, you know, if I don't have a particular storyline, because I don't always have storylines for titles or, you know, in particular. Obviously, I have storylines for the women's title and storylines, obviously, for, you know, the main title and the Carnage title, that kind of thing. But, you know, not always. Everything doesn't always get planned out. And sometimes that creates good things. Sometimes that creates really awesome things. You know, sometimes the best things are the things that aren't totally planned. As Bayley's coming back here in the match here. But, for the tag team titles, I wanted to create some, I guess, suspense out of it. Because we don't know who's going to challenge for those. Is Bayley with an elbow in the corner and a cross body here. The Toni Storm. And now Bayley, I've been loving Sasha as champion, and I'm hoping they give her a decent reign, because obviously she hasn't had one. Even on Raw, her reign wasn't that good either. There's a pile driver here from Toni Storm, but it should be exciting to see what they do with her as well. And I absolutely love what they're doing with, yeah, this person does the... Omega Man had said it to be the hugger comeback. Apparently, I guess they don't have another one that would better suit her for this character in particular, but it is what it is. I don't change anything unless I feel the need to. As Toni Storm gets the victory here, but I usually, when I download other people's cause, especially Omega Man's, like, and Iconic 2K's, like, I'm confident that they have, that everything is right, because they take a lot of time in creating these cause and the faces and the textures and stuff like that. So I don't usually do anything to the movesets unless I desperately need to. Obviously, I changed some of Deanna's moveset, some of Deonna Purrazzo's moveset, because now she does this pile driver thing now. So the Costa Nostra, she calls it, but she does this pile driver thing now that I just seen her do on Impact, so I had to change that up. But Toni Storm gets the victory here as we go over to the break screen yet again. As now our next match here, we have Kevin Owens versus Zero. Now Kevin Owens has had a couple run-ins with Kenny Omega. And now Kevin Owens, he beat Kenny Omega. So there's no telling what Kevin Owens could be up to after stealing the RCW Men's Lottery briefcase. Cashing it in, even though he wasn't the official winner. It was Ricochet that was. And Ricochet will be getting a title shot at RCW Ascend against Brian Outlaw, who is the world champion. And obviously here, you will see some new redesigns to the titles. I don't believe I have any of the champions booked for this particular card, but you will see some updates to the titles as I went through and I updated them and I made them look, I guess, better, in my opinion. So, we have Kevin Owens here versus Zero. This should be a very fun matchup here. Zero is a former RCW champion in his own right. But Kevin Owens, he's had that stripped from his record or from his, I guess, record book or whatever here, as that was unofficial. And that was very, very childish there from Kevin Owens, but I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens will get an opportunity eventually. But only time will tell here, as anything can happen here on RCW, so let's get to it. Zero versus Kevin Owens. Now it is Kevin Owens making his way out here. Again, like I had mentioned, he had stolen the men's lottery case from Ricochet. Although he was in that match. I should mention that he was in that ladder match. Maybe he felt that he deserved another shot as Kevin Owens and Bryan Outlaw went one-on-one for that title. Bryan Outlaw coming up with the victory there, and Kevin Owens thought he could have that ticket there, and just like that briefcase from that other company, the lottery case does the same thing. You can challenge for any title that you want. Whether it's the Carnage title or the World Championship, and Kevin Owens thought, well, I didn't win it, but I can get like a free shot, and he did win the championship from Bryan Outlaw unofficially. Unofficially, though. He did win. But like I said, that was unofficial since he was not the rightful winner of that briefcase. And right now, he must be not feeling too happy about that. Not having the title with him, but if he can get a victory over Zero here, he may punch himself a ticket. And same thing goes for Zero. Zero has been away for quite some time, and, he returned and attacked Cedric Alexander, who is a tag team champion now with Ali, and Zero has kind of turned over this new leaf here, this new attitude that I don't know where he gets it from, but nonetheless, it's Kevin Owens and Zero here, as Kevin Owens just runs over Zero here to start off this match. And an Irish whip. Oh, both men ran into each other, though. Zero able to get Kevin Owens down with a couple of kicks to the chest there. And now Zero trying to cover Kevin Owens here. Early cover here. You could have gone for the rope break, decided not to. Decided not to here as Zero now is down. Now boot to the chest here. A little bit of payback from earlier. It's Kevin Owens. He's trying to work over Zero here, the former RCW World Champion. And it's really been crazy because we've been doing this show for, I think, 2 years now. Since 2018. And it's crazy now that 2021 is almost here and it's been a crazy year with everything going on. And, I think I speak for everyone when I say we just want to move on to the next year and hope and pray that next year is a little bit better. And there's nothing wrong with hoping and praying that, that next year is better. But I can promise you this, that next year for RCW and wrestling content beyond is going to be fantastic, at least from me. It's Kevin Owens now with a DDT again to Zero here. Now Kevin Owens throwing Zero into the corner there, and now a suplex. We are seeing Zero here be absolutely dominated here by Kevin Owens, and just as I say that, Zero decides to take a little bit of a breather here as he is not too happy about what's going on right now. When it's Christmas, you see Godzilla's health bar in the sky for 2020. That's pretty funny. I mean, I always like to think positive. You know, I know that, and I can say I know that it's really, really tough right now. I know that it is. I understand that. People have lost their jobs. People have lost loved ones due to this whole thing going on. And I know it's very, very difficult to look at the light at the end of the tunnel, if there is one. You know, I know it is very tough here as Kevin Owens. I don't know what he was trying to do there. But, you know, I will say, though, that it is very important that no matter what's going on in the world right now, that we think positive, that we try to think of the good things, that, you know, we find something, no matter how little it is, something that, you know, to look forward to, something, whether it be, I don't know, whether you got the new Xbox or you know, you're looking forward to the new games coming out next year or whatever it is. You know, just find something that you know, can make you happy or that makes you happy and just hold on to that. As Kevin Owens with a pop-up powerbomb to Zero and going for the cover afterwards, and a kick out there from Zero, and Kevin Owens just like that almost got the victory there. And now Zero coming back here. Zero now with a stomp right on the elbow there of Kevin Owens. Now going after the legs of Kevin Owens now. And I actually went ahead and I bought a new USB hub because the one that I had was, you know, busted, so I had to get a new one. And this new one's a lot better because it has like these switches on it. So like, let's say you want to leave it plugged in, but you don't want it to utilize a lot of power, you can turn it off. So you can turn off one of the ports so that you don't have to just unplug it, which is pretty awesome. I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool looking thing. It also lights up the ports too, so it kind of makes it easier for you to see in the dark though, which is pretty awesome too as well. And a punch right to the face here in the corner as Kevin Owens and Zero continuously going at it here, and Zero now with a couple of kicks to the hamstring here of Kevin Owens and a belly to belly. It's hard to lift up a big man in Kevin Owens like that, but nonetheless he did it. And now Zero is heading up for something dangerous here. He might be looking for zero tolerance, but Kevin Owens got the knees up. Kevin Owens got the knees up here. And now Kevin Owens looking to do it again. He's looking for that pop-up powerbomb right on Zero again and covering him right now. And he's going to get the 3 count here just like that. Getting the knees up from zero tolerance. And then hitting him again with that pop-up powerbomb. It's interesting how he decided not to go for the stunner, which he usually ends up utilizing, but nonetheless, Kevin Owens is victorious against a former champion as Zero has to roll out here. Referee is right there to check on him, but Kevin Owens with the victory here as we move on to our next match fairly quickly, folks. That was a quick one there. As Kevin Owens takes care of former RCW World Champion in Zero. As now we have our next women's matchup for this afternoon here, or evening, or morning, wherever you're at. And that is Rhea Ripley and former RCW Women's Champion, the very first one here on the show. And that was Paige, the very, very first RCW Women's Champion. I think Sky Outlaw was the second one. And then Luna Outlaw following it up with Luna. And then it was Noelle Diamond. And then it was Luna again. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens here as Rhea Ripley could possibly turn the triple threat into a fatal four-way. And that's something that Luna does not want. However, Luna is very, very smart. Very, very smart. Despite her age, very, very smart. And I think that she's got something up her sleeve for that triple threat match with Amaya Blackwell and Toni Storm. That's going to be insane. Make sure you guys don't miss that pay-per-view. I'll make sure to have something in Discord. The pay-per-view is one of the most important things here in RCW. Obviously, if you can make it to the episodes, that's awesome. It's fantastic. And if you can't, that's okay. That's totally fine too. But one of the things that's really, really, really important is the Go Home show, which is the next episode, which is episode 19. And then the pay-per-view, because the pay-per-view and the Go Home show kind of set the tone for the entire season. The pay-per-views and the Go Home shows to those pay-per-views set the tone for the entire season, and they also set the tone for the next season in the finale pay-per-view. So, you know, those are very, very important. And seeing them live is nothing like watching them on a VOD. But if that's why the VODs are there, so that you can watch them in case you miss any match or anything. Every match, like I've expressed pretty much since this show was conceived, I guess, every match is important. Otherwise, it wouldn't be booked. And that's the thing that I like to do. When it comes to, you know, viewers, wrestlers, and having viewers be a part of this universe, I don't mind it at all. Obviously, you can get your wrestlers to be a part of this universe. I believe I still have something down in the panels discussing it on how you can achieve that. But one of the things that I like to do for my viewers is I like to have their wrestlers, you know, be a part of something important. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a championship storyline or whatever, or some major, well thought out storyline. But what I like to do for you guys here as the community is for you guys to be a part of something that you feel is important. You know, the worst thing when it comes to wrestling for me is knowing that a wrestler has a lot of talent and then they're just a jobber, or they're, you know, just an enhancement talent, or, you know, or just not taken advantage of properly. And that was the case of Zelina Vega, who is now released. But, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I kind of treat this show as if it was a real wrestling show, and I know you guys take a lot of pride in making your wrestlers, and some of you guys are really, really good creators and awesome. So I want you guys to feel as important, you know, as somebody who's in like a title storyline or something, because that's just as big of a deal as somebody who's not involved in a title storyline. And I really think that, not to toot AEW's horn, but I think that AEW does that well, where they you know, because Darby Allin wasn't in a championship storyline right away before he became, you know, the TNT champion. But you know, they had this way of making you care about the wrestlers that weren't in the big storylines. Or a story doesn't necessarily need to have a title attached to it to make it good. You know, so, you know, that's what I try and do is, for each individual storyline that is made, whether it be the championship ones or not the championship ones, I like to make ones that sometimes I take more time in making the ones that aren't about a championship than the ones that are about a championship. The ones that have a championship attached to it. But, you know, it's different. And I like to, you know, make you guys feel that you are important and make you guys feel that, you know, you are a part of this universe as much as I am the one creating it. And, you know, once I get the Series X and all those games that I was talking about, I think it's going to be, we're going to expand this. You know, the Outlaws aren't just going to be a WWE 2K. They're going to be in the wrestling code. They're going to be in other things. And hell, we may take the Outlaw World Tour away from WWE 2K and put it into another game. Like, it may be something completely different. You know, depending on the options that those games give us, you know, I'll take it. That's all I'm looking for is options. I'm looking for, especially, you know, when it comes to co-creation and telling your own story. Because I think if the player themselves can decide their own destiny, like, that is a core thing about a video game. And that, and the wrestling code, which is Virtual Basement's wrestling game, and all that. Hi, Slav, I appreciate you with the lurk, thank you. But yeah, with the wrestling code and all these new wrestling games coming out, we want options. And if they give me the options that are good, like I hear that they're going to do custom signs in the wrestling code game. It's going to be kind of like Here Comes the Pain, a little bit more arcadey/sim style type thing. I would love it if they combine both styles and just created a fun wrestling game. And by the character models look amazing. So I'm really excited to see what happens. I'm really hopeful, and I don't want to get myself too hyped, but I'm really hopeful, and I'm excited for going down the road. But let's get to the match, guys. Let's get to this match. Rhea Ripley and Paige. Here we go. Man, I love that transition. I absolutely love that transition. You can check out my buddy Sakate there. There's his link. He also streams WWE as well, his own wrestling show, the Epic Wrestling League. I have his wrestlers, the Blackwell family, a part of this universe. As Rhea Ripley comes out here, and I also have Sinister, who is Young Sin's wrestler as well. So I have his wrestlers a part of the universe, as well as Deftest Violator, his wrestlers as well. A part of his universe, the NWO universe that he has. We created this little community of, you know, wrestling fans, and that is our primary goal, is to get wrestling fans, you know, together. You know, I realize one of the things that I would say that makes me not like wrestling fans are those who, you know, can't have to bash on everything that a company does. Have to bash everything that a company does, and have to bash, you know, or you know, they're like, oh, AEW sucks, oh, WWE sucks. It's like every company has their ups and downs. We have the right to criticize, but you know, some people just don't know how to criticize them in the right way. And I might be a little bit biased here, but I gotta pull for Paige in this one because, you know, she is the first ever RCW Women's Champion. But she has definitely been a bigger part of this stream with her making some of the sound commands for me and her just being an absolute sweetheart. I was in her stream the one day. I think she was doing like her nightcap thing. She does this thing where she streams like twice a day, and she does nightcaps where it's like late at night. And she has like all this whole thing decked out and everything. And I told her that because my grandfather, he is in the hospital right now recovering from a second stroke. He had a second stroke, and basically we're trying to get him in rehab. So, you know, it's going to be hard because I don't think we're going to have much of the holiday celebration this year, especially with Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't think that that's going to be a thing this year for us. You know, and it's difficult because we do, you know, a lot of things for Thanksgiving and we do a lot of things for Christmas with the family, and, you know, he likes to be a part of that stuff, and especially with my little cousins and everything. But, yeah, I was in Paige's stream, and I told her that, I was like, yeah, you know, my grandfather and I, we both love you. You know, he doesn't remember a lot of stuff anymore because, you know, the stroke has really affected his memory. The first one did. And, you know, it's difficult. You know, he still knows who I am, which is great. That's the one thing that I was worried about, was he wasn't even going to know who his family members were. But, you know, he doesn't remember a lot of stuff, but him and I used to watch Raw together. And he was never really into the wrestling of today, but him and I would watch, you know, Paige when she was still wrestling. And, so I clipped a little, video for him that I was going to show him, that I'll probably send to him or something or whatever. And it's, and it's Paige, you know, wishing him love and all that and everything, because I would think he would appreciate that, so it was cool that she did that for him. She's been an absolute sweetheart, so, you know, as long as I've watched her and as long as I've known her, like, she's been an absolute sweetheart, so, you know, I'm very appreciative of what she's done for the company and what she's done for everybody. And I just feel like she deserves a shout out for that. I think she is the person I've gifted the most subs to. Out of any channel on Twitch, I've see, I have this problem. Like, I like to be, you know, I'm a very charitable person. I like to think that I like to give back to people in any way that I can, or help people out in any way that I can. And I know that Paige doesn't need it because she works for the WWE, but I know that what she does is she'll give, for every, like, certain amount of subs that she gets herself, she'll take a small streamer, somebody like, you know, myself, or somebody that, you know, may have, like, 3 viewers or whatever, and then she'll just drop, like, 100 subs or 50 subs on somebody, just for the hell of it. And I think that's the sweetest thing ever. It's like, you're making somebody's day by doing that. And some people don't know who she is. Like, some people are like, who the hell is Paige? And then they're like, the WWE superstar. And then they're like, holy shit. They're like, holy shit, that's, you know, that's Paige. I'd freak out if she did that. I'd freak out. I'd cry, okay? Like, I'd freaking cry if that ever happened to me. Like, I don't know what I would do. It's kind of like an in-the-moment thing. I think it's a kind of the in-the-moment sort of thing. I think that's what it is. I honestly don't know what I would do, because I can't say what I would do, because I would be You know, it's kind of like that in the moment thing, you know. It's Paige with the Irish whip to Rhea Ripley and that pop-up knee strike in the corner. I loved it when she used to hit that all the time. And a German suplex from Paige here, and that famous scream that she lets out. She told me that she hated that. Like, she hated doing that because she thinks that's the most embarrassing thing. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because she's looking at herself when she was like 21, and now that she's like 28 now, it's like, that's embarrassing. I'm like, no, it's you though. It's you. That's why people loved you, because you did that. And the page starter here on Rhea Ripley, and now Rhea Ripley in trouble here, count of 2, and Rhea Ripley with the kick out at 2.5 here. But that was one of my favorite things, was that, you know, she did the whole Scream thing and the whole AJ Lee rivalry and that whole thing. That was fantastic. I remember her and I were talking about the I don't know if you guys had seen this, but it was like in 2015. It was the match with her and Charlotte at Survivor Series of that year. And she called her a cheater because she had her hand underneath the rope and she had the crop top and her and I were talking about that segment because I love that. I was like, I loved when you yelled at Michael Cole and told him to shut the hell up. I was like, that was great. Because I loved it when she was heel because she played it so well. And she kind of has that mean streak to her. Like, she's an absolute sweetheart, but piss her off the wrong way, and that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to piss off Paige. Not a good idea. But it's funny because I was saying, yeah, I like it when you turn heel. You know, when you were the bad Paige. You know, that was like my favorite thing. And you know, I was talking about like how I love playing the heel character and how I gotta say, you know, playing the heel character for you guys and doing the whole Brian Outlaw thing is freaking awesome, and I enjoy it. And I was telling her about it. I said the character wouldn't exist without you. So, you know, I was telling her about the character and everything, and she loved it. She loved it. She absolutely loved it. But she thought the idea of spilling coffee on me was not a good idea. Because she said it was mean, and I was like, yeah, that's the whole point, sweetheart. You're supposed to be mean. That's the whole point. There's a riptide here on Paige, but 1-2, and Paige kicks out at 2.5. But it was hilarious. And you know, I was kind of joking with her. I was like, "You're not gonna turn heel on me, are you?" I thought we had a good friendship going. And she's like, "Don't test me. You saw what happened with PCB." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why do you always end up turning on people?" And Paige kicks out again. What's up, Blind? How's it going, man? How's it going, man? Yeah, but the interactions that I've had with Paige, with being in her live stream and you know, being a fan of hers for a really long time. You know, it's I'm 100% grateful for everything that I have achieved, I guess, or everything that I've been gifted. You know, like, I talk to wrestlers on Twitter all the time. You know, because I want to get into the industry, and what better way to get into the industry than to talk to wrestlers who are in it. I actually had one of my favorite wrestlers, Deonna Purrazzo. She loved the promo that I did for her when she was a free agent. Before she got to Impact, she absolutely loved the promo that I did. And I absolutely freaked out because I was like, she actually liked that? I was like, cool, because I did that whole promo unscripted too. It was totally improv and everything. Like, I didn't do any preparation beforehand. I just went right off the cuff and did it. So, I'm doing great, Blind. I'm doing great. 3 weeks left of college to go. The holidays are coming. My new Series X is coming. So, I am happy as can be right now. Is Rhea Ripley now looking to finish Paige here with another riptide. She's going to hook it up here. And another riptide on Paige here. Count of 1. She's got the count of 2, and Paige kicks out again. What a match this is shaping up to be here. Paige proving why she is the first ever RCW Women's Champion. However, she hasn't been able to gain the title since then. So she's kind of got that chip on her shoulder here. It's Paige now taking a breather after an Irish whip in the corner. That's very unlike Paige there to just go out like that. Now, Rhea Ripley now trying to get Paige to submit here. She's got her up and stretching the body out. Paige able to slip out of that one. Now a snapmare takedown here. Now just a working hold here. Paige going a little bit old school. I mean, her whole entire family is a bunch of wrestlers. The Knight family, she's got quite the legacy. And only being 28. Rhea Ripley, though, with a kick to the side of the face. And a Hurricane Rana, though. Easy for Paige, getting Ripley to stay down again. Now a kick out at 1 here. And this match has been absolutely insane, folks. We've seen the Riptide being hit 3 times. And still no clear winner here. There's now Rhea Ripley with a belly-to-belly here. Oh, Northern Lights, excuse me. Thought it would be the belly-to-belly here, but she went for a different kind of suplex that time. Trying to roll her up here, but Paige having none of that. Now Paige again going for the cover. It's very questionable here. As she's hit the Paige turner a couple times, and well, that's been it. But oh, a huge clothesline there. Lights out Paige there. Now looking to go for the Riptide again. She's going to hook it, and she's got it. She's got the Riptide. Able to get into the covering position here. And Rhea Ripley's going to come out with a victory just like that. What resiliency from Paige, though. Kicking out of the Riptide 3 times, but 4 times the charm this time. As Rhea Ripley now is your winner of this match here. As we move on to our next one, as we go over to the break screen. Gotta say, I love that transition. I love it. Absolutely love that thing. I think that's like my favorite thing about the streams here. So now we got a tag team battle royal. So there are members of different tag teams here. And the winner of this battle royal, their respected tag team, will get a title shot at RCW Ascend against Ali and Cedric for the tag team titles. So whoever wins here, we got the Butcher and the Blade. And the Blade is going to be the represent of the Butcher and the Blade tag team. We got Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. We got Ray Phoenix of the Lucha Bros. We got Shinsuke Nakamura of Cesaro and Shinsuke. We got Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era. And we also have a mystery opponent here. And we have a newcomer here that'll join us as well. So this is going to be insane here. And for this newcomer tag team, this is going to be the greatest opportunity for them. I don't think ever before we've had a tag team have this big of an opportunity on their first night here on the roster. So it's going to be huge for this particular tag team. And thanks for this tag team, courtesy of my buddy Deftest Violator. One of his buddies now, one of his wrestlers, one of his teams is in this here. So maybe, just maybe, we will see different different supremacy here with different brand supremacy here. If this particular tag team can go all the way to RCW Ascend and win those titles. Because it's been RCW supremacy this whole time. So we'll see what happens here as we have this battle royal. Here we go. With the winner of this will get a title shot at the next pay-per-view. RCW Ascend in 2 episodes away. Let's get it. So he is part of the Young Bucks here, part of the Super Kick Party. Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, one of the most decorated tag teams in the wrestling industry today. As he looks to punch his ticket to another title opportunity, the Young Bucks were tag team champions at one point. They'd like to be on top of the mountain again, as Nick Jackson makes his way to the ring here. Let's see who's coming out next. And it is Rey Fenix. It is Rey Fenix of the Lucha Bros now. This is going to be a stacked battle royal, and now the only way to win is to go over the top rope with both feet hitting the floor. So it's going to be every man for themselves here in this match. And every tag team is going to want an opportunity at these tag team titles here. And we're just going to see what tag team wants it more. And we got the Blade of the Butcher and the Blade. Buffalo versus everybody. And the reason why I say that is because these guys, I actually got a chance to meet him. At an indie show. I got a chance to meet him, and he's actually married to Allie, who is in AEW, who is also in Impact. And I got a chance to meet him, and he was I didn't get a picture, unfortunately, but I met him for like a few seconds, and it's good to see him in AEW. It's good to see some Western New Yorkers, in AEW. So it's awesome. I'm glad that he's living his best life as the Blade comes out here for the Butcher and the Blade. And we have Adam Cole, baby, for the Undisputed Era. And you hear it right there, Adam Cole, baby. He's quite the gamer himself, has his own Twitch channel. But he's also a part of one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE today. The Undisputed Era. And Adam Cole looking to punch his ticket here for his team. And it can be either him and somebody else of his team. It doesn't necessarily have to be him. It can be Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era. But he can win it for his team here. That's the thing. Now it's Shinsuke coming out here for his tag team here with Cesaro. Former RCW Carnage champion here. You can tell by the boos they don't like him. They do not like Shinsuke here. So we're going to see who is the last guy here. Member of the NWO Wrestling League here. Let's see who it is. This is our mystery guy here. And it is Lenny. Lenny from the Click here. The Click has come to RCW. He doesn't have Princess with him and his other partner here, but nonetheless, the Click is here. Got that solo cup here. But he's got to stop worrying about what's in that cup and worrying about what's ahead. And we'll see if his debut is going to be a successful one. All right, let's see what's going on here. As Adam Cole is looking to throw out Lenny. He's looking to throw him out, but Lenny stopped him. Like I said, every man for himself. Battle Royal here. The winner, whoever wins this, will go on with their tag team. Like I said, Adam Cole doesn't necessarily have to be the one that competes. He's representing the Undisputed Era. Now, Adam Cole may be the first one out here, but Adam Cole hitting Lenny to prevent that from happening, and a drop kick to Rey Fenix here. This match is going to be nuts. Michinoku driver there, and now going after Lenny now is Shinsuke. Like I said, this match is going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of bodies. A huge number of bodies here. Oh, but Shinsuke now with a kick to the midsection here. Lenny, though, blocking that, and a drop kick there to Shinsuke. Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks working on the blade. Oh, wow, what a power slam there. And an elbow drop here. We're seeing some really awesome moves here from Lenny here in his debut. I guess Lenny is the one that's proven that he wants it. I mean, what a debut would this be? If he's able to win this, it doesn't guarantee a win necessarily, but it helps it nonetheless. It would be quite the accomplishment. You know, we've seen the likes of, Paige on her first day on Monday Night Raw win the championship. And now Shinsuke just eliminated himself trying to go after Lenny. Shinsuke's gone. Shinsuke is donezo here. And now Lenny's just sitting and waiting. Well, walking and waiting is the more accurate statement. And now Adam Cole is going after him. And Adam Cole is out of here. These guys are just going after Lenny. Bad decision there. And now it's Nick Jackson, Rey Fenix, and the Blade. Just like that, two guys are eliminated right off the bat here. You couldn't have predicted that for sure. Who do you guys think is going to come out the victor here? Between Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, Rey Fenix, the Blade, and now Lenny. This is going to be interesting here to see what happens. And Nick Jackson looking to eliminate Lenny, but Lenny with the kick to the face. Missed that drop kick there. Turning him around. Lenny's looking for something here. Wow, Lenny just dropping Nick Jackson. Lenny dropped Nick Jackson here. And Nick Jackson firing back with the rolling Sabat kick here. Oh, and a Hurricane Rana taking him down. And now Lenny, though. Lenny taking a breather here. Oh, Blade! Blade with a suplex. And now Blade going after Nick Jackson. Oh, Nick Jackson, though. Nick Jackson rolls it through. No pins. No pins in this type of matchup. Oh, and he eliminated the Blade. The blade is gone. The blade is gone. And now it's just Nick Jackson and Ray Phoenix and Lenny. And Lenny is taking out everybody. I know I said Buffalo versus everybody when it came to the blade, but now it's just Lenny versus everybody. I don't know what he has in that cup, but whatever he drank before the match, it's definitely working. I don't know, maybe he spiked it. I don't know what he could have utilized. I don't want to speculate there. I definitely don't want to speculate, but it looks like Lenny's just going to get rid of Nick Jackson. And now it's just Ray Phoenix now. It's just 2 men now. Just like that, Lenny has eliminated 3 people, I believe, out of the 6 men in here. If I'm correct, that is 3 eliminations. By 1 guy in his debut. This is bonkers. I've never seen any guy, especially in a debut match, like this. I guess Lenny is proving that he wants this more than anything. More than anybody. And like I said, that this was what it was going to come down to. Who wants it more? As now Lenny launching Ray Phoenix into the corner. Now he's going to go for that clothesline again. And Lenny has just punched his ticket to RCW Ascend. For the Click. Hey, if The Rock debuted and he eliminated about 3 guys, others can too. Yeah, that is true. But you have to admit, you know, The Rock is The Rock. You know, no dissing Lenny at all, but I mean, you couldn't have expected that like 2 eliminations seconds after one another. First it was Shinsuke getting a little bit overzealous. Then it was Adam Cole getting a little bit overzealous, and they ended up eliminating themselves. It wasn't really an elimination by Lenny. It was just them kind of just getting a little bit overzealous and maybe underestimating Lenny, running after, and then all Lenny did was duck. And the momentum carried him over the top rope. That's all that was. Well, let's get on to our next match, folks. I believe this next match will be our main event. Let's see what it is here. And yes, it is. It is a Falls Count Anywhere with Mr. Brody Lee and the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer. Now, Lance Archer had put Big Nasty, Bubba Blackwell, on the shelf in their match, which I believe was a last man standing. Big Nasty kept getting up. He kept wanting to continue. But Lance Archer just decimated Big Nasty. But I have to think, though, the Outlaws and Sinister. The Outlaws hate the Blackwells as much as everyone else does. But I have to think, the Outlaws are pretty good friends with Lance. Also, now Young Sin has a title opportunity against Darby Allin for the RCW Carnage title. But now, with Bryce Blackwell out, with Big Nasty out, he doesn't have to worry about any of that interference happening. Any of the logical interference that could happen. interference could still happen. Something still could happen that could screw him out of that opportunity. But he basically got rid of 2 issues. He got rid of the 2 potential candidates for that. So who knows? Anything can happen here. But it is Lance Archer versus Brody Lee. Mr. Brody Lee, that is. He may be called the Exalted One from the Dark Order. He was once called Luke Harper. But now he is Mr. Brody Lee, or back to being Brody Lee, I should say. And this is another guy that actually, fun fact here, this guy right here, Mr. Brody Lee, he was actually one of my teacher's neighbors back in high school. Because he actually went to the school that my friend trained at. And I was supposed to go to the AEW show where he was supposed to debut in his hometown. I still have tickets for that. It's next year, hopefully. I'm praying and hoping that I can actually go to that show, because it was Matt Hardy and Brody Lee that debuted, that were supposed to debut at that show. Broken Matt Hardy, that is. And I love what Matt Hardy's doing at AEW. And I love this guy right here. Love Lance Archer. Absolutely respect the hell out of this man. Being a Christian man myself, he is very devoted to his faith, and I respect anybody that is, that devoted to something like that. I respect anybody that is. Whether it be their religious beliefs or just their value system. If you stand by your beliefs and you stand for what you believe in, and you're not being a total asshole to anybody, then I totally respect you for that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Imagine the pop that Matt Hardy would have gotten. But I asked him, he did this Q&A on Twitter. I asked Lance, what was the best advice he received, and, he replied to me, and he's like, trust God, and I was like, yep. That's probably the best advice that anybody can give you, is trust the big man upstairs. And I love that, and I tweeted out, when he debuted, with Jake the Snake, which I believe that Jake still has it. He still got it in terms of promos. There's nobody that cuts a promo like he does. Nobody. And I took a lot of inspiration from him, for the Brian Outlaw character, because he actually, Jake actually got his vocal cords, stomped up in a match, and that's why he talks raspy. Also, his drug issues didn't really help either, but he's clean now. And I had tweeted out that when he made his debut, that when Lance made his debut, that he'd be one of the guys I'd love to work with if I ever got to AEW. If I ever, got the chance to work at AEW, which that's the ultimate goal, actually, is to go to AEW. I would love to have the pleasure of working with a young mind like Tony Khan and all the young talent, plus the veterans that they have there. Darby Allin is probably one of the number one guys I'd like to work with. Thunder Rosa, even though that she's not signed to AEW, I'd like to work with her. She's one of my favorites. As far as the women's division goes, Hikaru Shida, I would love to work with her. The women's division is definitely something that they need to make people care about, I guess, or improve upon. whether that's signing somebody or, you know, just coming up with better storylines. And I watched an interview the other day, and it was with Tony Khan after Full Gear, and he and the thing is, he knows that the women's division is not as good as it could be, and I love how he acknowledged it. Like, he didn't like beat around the bush and tried to say, well, you know, it's good what we're doing. You know, he acknowledges that, and you know, I'm hoping with crowds coming back, and or whenever that happens, and you know, with traveling restrictions and things like that, that you know, that they can work something out for their women and make it a lot better, because I know that AEW, to me, it's a, you know, it's a breath of fresh air, especially for, you know, people who never got that creative freedom, that, you know, from other companies like WWE and stuff like that, especially WWE, and to see Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose, formerly known as Dean Ambrose at WWE, like, to see him in the interview say, he goes, man, I love that stuff that I had with Eddie Kingston. You know, the storytelling is so fun, and you know, just to see him so happy at doing what he does is freaking amazing. You know, it's good, and you know, I just want to see wrestlers happy with what they're doing, and to see Deonna Purrazzo in Impact, return to Impact, 6 months being in the company, she's already a 2-time Knockouts champion. And she was nothing in WWE. And just to see what can happen to somebody in the months that they've been with another company compared to the years or the months they've been with WWE, not to diss WWE in any way, but to see what they can achieve after not being so constricted is amazing. And to see talent be so happy and so, you know, positive at where they're at, like, that's awesome. And I think the Brian Outlaw character could definitely flourish there. I know that my buddy who got trained at that local wrestling school, he was telling people about me. He was telling his trainers, and you know, he's like, yeah, I got a buddy who's really good at, you know, cutting promos, and you know, really good at, and they're like, what's his name, and you know, what's his like stage name, and it's like Brian Outlaw, and they loved it, and they loved the name. So you know, it's I guess it's really good hearing that, you know. And to hear somebody like Rosemary tell you that you're good at promos, you know, somebody like Rosemary, who's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, it's insane. It's absolutely insane, and I'm 100% grateful for you guys, you know, coming back here, and even though that I've been away for quite some time, it's awesome to see you guys back, and hopefully you are enjoying this as much as I am, you know. I've been doing this show for 2 years, and it's been a blast. It's been an absolute blast. Brody Lee now with Lance Archer bleeding here. He's going to put the big man up on the top rope here. Now, Brody Lee, what's he going for here? Again, this is a Falls Count Anywhere. None of these men have used weapons. They're weapons themselves in a fall-away slam here. To Lance Archer. Oh, no, but a chop block there, taking out the big Brody Lee. And oh, it appears that Lance Archer is looking to do exactly what he did to Big Nasty. The referee has to get out here. Is this the Falls Count Anywhere match? Is Brody Lee doing a little bit of taunting here? Maybe a little bit of too much showboating. Ducked under that clothesline here. And these two have just been beating the living hell out of each other, and I don't think I've seen Brody Lee get decked like that before. And now going right after the face of Brody Lee here. The same thing that Lance Archer was doing to Big Nasty, just continuously beating the living hell out of him, even after he was a Crimson Mask. And he's continuing to beat the living hell out of Brody Lee. And now Brody Lee is bleeding. And oh no, not again. Don't tell me this is going to happen again. Not to Brody Lee. And both of these men are absolutely winded right now. I don't know who's taken the most punishment. It's either Lance or Brody Lee, and I don't think it's been... I don't even know at this point. How long are these men gonna go until the referee says it's time to stop? Now Brody Lee rushing in here in a big knee lift, and Lance Archer is tired out trying to go for that big super kick and a clothesline, and now Lance Archer is off his feet. And a big boot turns Lance Archer inside out here. The big boot onto Lance Archer, and Lance Archer just kicks out at one. Not even. Oh, possibly Brody Lee looking for that special discus clothesline. And he hit it. 1, 2. And Lance Archer got the shoulder up at 2.5. Lance Archer got the shoulder up, and I thought it was over there. And now Brody Lee with the hands. Brody Lee with the hands. And a cover there again. And a kick out there easily here. Again, who's going to go down here? These men, like I've mentioned, are beating the living hell out of each other. I don't know how long these two could go. And now Lance Archer with a choke slam onto Brody Lee. A huge choke slam onto Brody Lee, and now he's going to throw him to the outside area. And I think he might be trying to put him through the table like he's been trying to do this whole time. And it might not work here. Lance might just be looking to punish Brody Lee here with a power slam. 1, 2, and Brody Lee got the shoulder up at 2.5. Brody Lee, of all people, got the shoulder up at 2.5. And now Brody Lee shoves Lance Archer away. And Brody Lee now, powerbomb. Oh, I thought he was going to go through the table. I thought he was going to go through the table, but both men continuing to fight here. What an elbow. What an elbow here. Now full Nelson. My God, again, Brody Lee goes down. But that might not be enough here. Not for Mr. Brody Lee. Now looking for another power slam onto Brody Lee into the cover here. 1, 2. My God, no way. Brody Lee. refusing to go down without a fight here. Brody Lee. A crimson mask. And now Lance Archer looking to finish this. Hopefully. Another power slam. And Lance Archer takes care of Brody Lee. My God, what a match. What a match. As Brody Lee celebrates, or Lance celebrates, excuse me, and it appears that he's not done. Lance Archer isn't done. I don't know what he's gaining out of this. Just beating the living hell out of people. This man is something else. No, 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 no. Another choke slam. Now he's going for it again. He's going for it again. Another power slam onto Brody Lee. And Lance Archer. It's live. There are no screw-ups. Triple H. Well, yep. I would have to disagree with that statement. But, nonetheless, Lance Archer again laying waste to someone else on the RCW roster. Bryce Blackwell's injured. Big Nasty's injured. And now we'll have to get an update on Brody Lee. Man, this is insane. The reign of terror that Lance Archer has. You definitely don't want to be in the way of it. But that is our show, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's good to be back. It's surreal, honestly, because, you know, when you go a few weeks without streaming, without, you know, making videos, and, you know, I have videos for you guys that'll go up on the channel and or go up on the YouTube side of things anyway. But, you know, when you take a few weeks off, and, you know, there was times where I was like, am I ever gonna finish the season? At least finish the season anyway. And I didn't know if I was. I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish the season necessarily. Like, I was, it's not because I don't find it fun anymore or anything like that. It was simply because I was just trying to figure out the timing. The appropriate timing. And, you know, it's all about time. It's all about time when you need to create content and stuff like that, and when you're like me and you're in school and you're trying to get project after project done, and you know, this is the last, like, I feel like the last, like, 3 or 4 weeks of a semester are the most stressful because it's like crunch time. You're just trying to get everything finished, especially when it's your very, very last one. You know, when it's your last one, and after that you graduate, yada, yada, yada. And everything, it just seems like, come on, I want to be done already. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I just want to be done. It's hilarious. You know, and I'd like to just put it out there just to thank you guys for, sticking with me through this whole time and coming back here and enjoying the shows that I put on for you guys. But also, just being very supportive. And I'm excited to see what we're going to do in the future with, the Xbox Series X and, with the new wrestling games coming out. Like I said, I think 2021, if there's any silver lining to any of this stuff that's been happening, that I think it's going to be a good year content-wise for myself and a lot of other wrestling content creators. I think it's going to be a good year because we're going to have games and more stuff to work with besides, the normal WWE stuff. So let me know what you guys think about, some of the new ideas. Obviously, I have this Worthmore Arena that was for Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October. But let me know what you guys think about other ideas in terms of, having multiple arenas, where we kind of interchangeably change them up a bit and see what goes on there, because I think it would be really cool and just really interesting to see what happens. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I will be live as soon as I can. I don't know when the next time I'll be live is. Probably Thursday. Let's just say Thursday for a placeholder. I'll let you guys know if that changes. But I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been awesome, very supportive over the past few years of not only me streaming but the RCW content. This has been fun. I'm very grateful for everything that wrestling has given me in terms of, making video content and just having something to watch or having something to entertain myself and you guys during this time of turmoil where we don't know what's gonna happen. So it's great, and my hope is that that this doesn't last much longer, and that pretty soon we'll be back to normal or somewhat normal, and we can actually do the things that we like doing again. That's my hope. But keep positive. I will keep you guys up to date on when the new Series X is coming. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited. We might have some Call of Duty on the channel as well, some zombies and with friends and other stuff on the channel. It's gonna be fun. I will have the alerts done. Some point. It's gonna take some time, but I have to go through it because it's gotta be, copyright free and everything else. So give me some time to work that out, and I'll have it all worked out. So thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys on another stream. Thank you guys, and stay safe.